Did you know that I used to be in the Cub Scouts when I was a kid? Probably not. That's because I was only part of the Scouts for less than a year in total, and frankly, I hated every second of it. And it feels like everyone else who's been a part of it, other than myself, has had a great time, and I'm the only one who is miserable. When I was around 6 or 7, we had a representative from the Cub Scouts come to our school and talk to the boys in our class all about the organization. And I won't lie, at the time it sounded amazing. Hiking, camping, handicrafts, and woodworking. Naturally, I picked up a flyer and I went home to tell my parents all about it, begging and pleading with them to let me sign up. And it worked. Before I knew it, I was signed up for Cub Scouts and I was on my way to my first meeting. I couldn't wait. And that's also when the excitement wore off almost immediately, because I picked up very quickly that my Cub Scout troop in particular sucked. As part of the Cub Scout experience, we would have regular meetings with our assigned troop, along with other larger meetings with several dozen Cub Scout troops from around the Tri-County area, where we would get together and discuss current service projects, upcoming excursions, and share general updates with one another. And my troop never had anything to share at these meetings. It felt like every other troop would get up on stage and talk all about their latest exciting project or the camping trip they were organizing or something they had just built. Everyone had something fun they were part of. Meanwhile, my troop meetings consisted mainly of getting together at someone's house, sitting around their kitchen table, eating trail mix while the adults got together in another room and just kind of hung out for a few hours before calling it a night. The one project we actually did do was around Father's Day that year, where we had a group craft/woodshop session where we each got to build a fully solid wood toolbox as a Father's Day gift to take home. Now, granted, it was not a room full of small kids using power tools or anything. All the pieces were already cut out and ready, but we still got to assemble it all ourselves. And I won't lie, at 6 or 7 years old, I felt pretty accomplished after that. In fact, even now, over 20 years later, that same toolbox is still at my parents' house, still all in one piece and in use. But other than that, I genuinely cannot think of a single thing that my troop did. The final straw, though, the one event that made me decide to quit altogether, was the farm park outing. This was a facility that's run through the county park system where I grew up, and it's sort of a combination public park / petting zoo / local history museum. I haven't been there for a long while myself, but from what I remember, it was a pretty neat place that had a little something for everyone. And one weekend, my Cub Scout troop had organized a group outing to the farm park. So, on the Saturday morning in question, my dad and I head out bright and early to the farm park to meet up with the rest of the troop. We get to the lobby, and we see that we're the first ones to arrive, so we wait, and wait, and wait, and no one else showed up. Not one other single person. At one point, my dad even double-checked the event flyer. This was in ye olden times before smartphones, to make sure that we had the right date and time. And sure enough, we did. But for some reason, the entire rest of the Cub Scout troop was a complete no-show. The organizers never officially canceled or rescheduled. No one contacted us to let us know anything had changed. To this day, I have no idea what happened. So instead, my dad and I just spent the day enjoying the park by ourselves, and we had a fantastic time. And in later years, we remember that weekend and laugh about the absurdity of it and recall how much fun we had, even if everyone else missed out. But at that point, I had had enough, and on the drive home, I told my dad that Cub Scouts just wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be, and how disappointed I was, and I really just didn't want to have to keep doing it. And he completely understood. In fact, he actually seemed relieved to hear me say it, because he and my mom could both tell how much I hated it. If I could go back in time to change anything, I would honestly try to convince my younger self to forget it altogether. Or, at the very least, I'd try to find if any other troops in the county had an open member slot instead. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed. It would help out my channel so much. And if you didn't already know, Floofnfeathers has a book out. This is a published collection of some of my favorite comics from my original web series, available now from Amazon and Barnes & Noble, so be sure to check that out. If you want to help support what I do even further, you can also find Floof and Feathers on Patreon and Ko-Fi, and you can always visit my home website for all of my latest comics, news, and other projects. Links to everything are in the description below. Thanks again, and hope to see you all next time.